we've got special guests here in the bunker in the chairs 1 and 2. Lauren and Joanne Lavoie Regina from Amazing Race Canada joining us here on the program today. 2 Regina gals. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us. This is wild.
It is pretty wild. What do you think's wild about it?
That everything's a green screen.
Isn't it?
But no, it's awesome. Like, this is so cool. Like, I've always wanted to, like, I love Tim and Sid on TSN, so I'm getting the Tim and Sid vibes, so this is really cool.
So a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah,
that's cool, too.
yeah.
Are you old enough to remember David Letterman? Because I get that a lot, too.
Yep.
A Letterman-esque feel.
Yep.
Maybe
So-
Lauren. I'm a little baby. So maybe,
You're not
maybe
old
not.
enough.
You're a little bean.
Great advertising for Regina Ride football,
Yeah,
obviously,
definitely.
which you, Joanne, have a connection to. So let's just get that out of the way right now.
Yeah, I got to work, like, the pleasure to work with these ladies for this last season, and it was so much fun. So wearing these shirts feels really good.
So from the moment you guys walked through the door downstairs, Studio B, and walked into here, I felt this energy just boom off
Oh
you
my
guys. Just your
goodness.
glowing energy. Do you wear people out, both of you? Your parents, your family?
Our parents would definitely say that we wear them out, I'm sure. But I think that's just like, it's, you know, if you've ever been in like a small space, you just like take a handful of bouncy balls and throw it as hard as you can, and they just bounce off each
That's
other.
you
and
two.
Yeah.
That's us. And I think we wear each other out. And
But it's
then
never
save
a
the
dull
world from
moment.
it.
It's always wild with us.
Well,
Yeah.
as I said to you guys in the break, I feel guilty almost that I'm the only one that can conduct this interview because Darren and Derek have a lot of questions for you. But my very first one, I'm watching the opening of Amazing Race last night. And of course, you guys are from Regina, so you got to have a Saskatchewan vibe, and you're standing in a field in front of the elevators from Chrono.
Yep.
So what made you choose Chrono? How did that go about? How'd you end up out there for photos for the show?
One of our story producers has lived in Saskatchewan for a while and loves the area. And when they were trying to decide like a very Saskatchewan-esque location, he was like, you have to go out there. So
Of course.
absolutely, like that was like needed that shot, wanted it so badly. So that was, I mean, you can really go out of town anywhere and find somewhere beautiful in this province. So he just had that one spot that he cared about, he had a connection with, and he's like, you have to go there.
Well, it looked great.
Yeah.
Looked great.
Oh, I loved it. And it just showed off Saskatchewan and how beautiful it is. So we can't complain.
So you guys have come, just for our viewers and listeners this morning, with a list of conditions about what you can and can't talk about. So tell me what we can't talk about. Because the show's done, right? So you can talk about the episodes up to last night, basically?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can't talk about everyone's favorite question. People walk up to us everywhere all the time. So did you win?
Why are you driving the cars yet? Where are they in the driveway? Can't say anything yet.
Yeah.
We gotta
Well,
be
by the
super
way-
tight-lip.
This is no small thing, but I mean, back in the day, you guys are young. Canadian game shows, which is in a way, this is what it is, reality television. They were playing for like $5,000. I'm watching the opening last night, and it's vehicles. It's $250,000 in cash. It's trips around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Really, really big deal that you're part of.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's always on the back of your mind. When you're running the race, you're thinking, oh, this is such an amazing experience. And then when things start to go bad and it starts to slip away, like when we're sitting on the curb, it's like, oh, but the cars,
Yeah.
they're so red and they're probably so fast.
That's what keeps you going?
Yeah, definitely.
It does, but then too, for us, a lot of it was the experience, because regardless of what happens, I mean, even just watching that last episode, the things that we did, you don't just get to do. You don't get to run around Yellowknife, go under Great Slave Lake, ice fish on top of Great Slave Lake. When do you get to, I will never hold that many diamonds in my life, literally.
No, I don't think so.
And it's just the experience too. You want to know what's going to happen next too.
Well, obviously, we can't talk about what's going to happen next. But talk about swimming under the ice, by the way. I
That
was
was-
told to bring that up.
Cold. I've been in ice baths before. I would do it 1,000 times again. The ice bath, that water, as soon as you hit it, I felt like I didn't have hands. I didn't have a face. If someone asked me if I had hands and I wasn't looking at them, I didn't even know that they were there.
So explain to our viewers what happened last night.
So the challenge was there was 2 big triangles cut out 3 feet apart from each other, and you had to go down under a meter of ice and kind of follow along this rope, which I didn't use anyways. I just swam, I guess, which is hilarious to watch now. But along your path, getting from one triangle to the other, your next clue was along that travel. So it was pitch black under there. You couldn't hear anything. You couldn't see anything. And you're trying to find this yellow piece of envelope. It was almost impossible.
Well, my heart's racing hearing you tell that story. I can't imagine what it's like to do. You're both wearing, are those Apple watches?
Yeah.
The
Sure.
Samsung watches that we won.
That you won? Okay, I'm
won,
just wondering
yeah.
if your heart was racing
Oh my god, it was at least like 240.
It had to have been.
It was to try and pump the blood to my hands or my face, but yeah, no, it was cold.
Yeah.
Well, they actually even said that you like they would. That's why they had them dunk their faces before, because if they had just jumped in that water, everything would have seized up.
Yeah, you had to acclimatize yourself, and if you wouldn't have done it in, I think 3 or 4 tries, they would have sat you out for 30 minutes to try and calm down and like relax, because it wasn't safe for you to go under if you were too panicked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I'm panicked sitting here.
Yeah,
I
so I
can't
was like,
imagine
thank
what it
goodness I'm a yoga teacher. I could chill my breath down.
Right. Yeah, it's a thing
I could
for
get
sure.
zen. Yeah.
John writes in on the Facebook wall. He says, I hope you guys win and don't get robbed like Josh did on Top Chef Canada. So I don't know, he's a fan of reality TV, obviously. Producer Clark asks, of the 4 episodes so far, what were some of the hardest challenges that you've faced?
The dirt bikes in Revelstoke was almost impossible for me. I mean, I've driven a standard car twice in my life, and all I did on that dirt bike for about 2.5 hours was stall every 3 seconds. So it gets so frustrating when you think you have it and then the bike just dies. And then I fell. I took some nasty spills on that dirt bike. So definitely getting back up when you are in so much pain and knowing that you got to finish was wild, but just showed us like how strong you can actually be. When you think you're done and you don't have anything left, this race shows you that you have this whole other bucket of energy.
What about you, Lauren?
I think the diamonds were insanely difficult. It was very, they kind of glossed over in the explanation of the challenge. They didn't tell you that the symbol was on the girdle of the diamond. They were just kind of like, inspect the girdle and then do this, this, and this. So if you didn't really, which the first time I looked at it, I didn't inspect, I like inspected the girdle quickly and then just continued on. But like, I would have had no idea. The only reason I figured out that we were looking for a Canadian symbol was I heard Sam beside me, and the guy came over to check, and he goes, just these 6. And then my brain goes, oh my God, they're not all Canadian diamonds. Because I'd been getting all 7 looked at over and over and over, and something is wrong. But that was an incredibly difficult task, coupled with the fact that I had been bawling right before I did it.
Yeah.
Which, when you're trying to look at the diamond, if you so much as breathe the wrong way, you actually like lose focus on it. So I was like trying not to do the crying breathing while I'm turning this diamond. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Silence of the Lambs breathing. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Literally.
Well, I've learned so much just watching last night's episode. For instance, that Canadian stamp that are in those diamonds that come up here. Who knew that Whitehorse was the diamond capital of the world, correct?
Yeah.
Or of the continent.
Yeah.
One of the
believe so,
two,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what have you guys learned about this country that you didn't know when you've been going through this? Probably a lot, I would think.
So much. Like, I keep going back to Revelstoke, but the ski hill that we run up to on the finish mat in Revelstoke is, I think, the longest like vertical incline ski hill that's in Canada. And I was like, great, this is awesome. I'm running up it in running shoes, not even skis.
I think for me, it's reinforcing how brilliant of a place Canada is. You just see like those geologists and the number of people that we ran into. I mean, they can't film every time you stop and ask someone a question, but we did not run into a single person that didn't want to help, that didn't want to figure out a way to make something work for you. And people offering to like help you find places and help you out when you're there. It's just, it really, I knew Canadians were nice. We're known for it, but when you see it firsthand, when you're in that situation, it really is like a brilliant
And
thing.
not even knowing that we were on the race, because you tuck away those little yellow envelopes. Everyone would throw their jacket down, anything to help you, because you're just so panicked and so lost. And no Canadian wants to see anybody struggling. So it was so heartwarming to see how awesome we are.
A couple questions from the viewers. William Work says, when you're done with Amazing Race Canada, what's next?
Ooh, I don't know if I can see an airport for a while now, because we've been screaming out of those for a while. But it definitely inspired us to want to travel and even see more of this world, or explore more of Canada even. Because every time we showed up to a new place, I couldn't even believe how incredible these landscapes are, and the people, the culture. It's amazing. Canada is so brilliant, and I challenge anybody to just go out and see. Go up to the north. Everyone always talks about wanting to see it. Go up there. Check it out. It's
But
great.
in the summertime.
But in the summertime. Honestly, because we landed there in April and it was minus 23 or something with the wind chill. It was 30 basically. So
Wow.
we were going under the water at minus 30. But we hopped out and I was like, it's like Regina in December, but it's April. I'm so confused. But yeah.
That would be something. How about you, Lauren?
I think for me, like The Amazing Race is really cool, but I could not imagine myself on something like Big Brother. Like I don't have. I mean, you see that kind of cutthroat like game playing that Irina and Dave do, which would fit great on Big Brother. I just don't have that in me. Like I would probably be off in like some random room, like not associating with anyone on the show.
I mean, I would try The Bachelor.
Which wouldn't work too good for the show.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't at all.
Yeah.
Well, but you know, I had Ryan Ballantyne in here last week. He's a Stampeders blogger, but he was on Big Brother Canada, and I asked him the question, which I will ask you, and I said, "How has this changed your life?" And he was like big time. So, how has this Amazing Race experience changed you guys' lives?
I think it's just you can't make excuses. You can't say like I'm too tired, I can't do this. You just have to find a way to do it. And I think it really showed us like the depth of what we're capable of. I think it really showed us again, we're the kind of people that are really comfortable, like unless we're certain, you don't want to like take that shot or you don't want to try for that thing unless you know within certainty you're going to get it. And this like there have been already probably 5 or 10 things that have been shown that I've never done in my life, but we still got through it. We still did it. And in some cases we were really good at it. So I think just taking chances on things, like really you only get to roll around this earth one time for a bunch of years if you're lucky. So take chances, do it.
Make it a good time. And for me, honestly, I really struggle with the idea of failure. Things come really easy to me really quickly. And I messed up so many times on this race. And it just showed me that it only makes you better. And practice is what makes perfect, not just luck. So it was nice to fail on a big scale and know that you just pick yourself up and you just keep going. It's not the end of the world.
And how about representing... Well, they say Regina's Lauren and Joanne. I'm saying Saskatchewan's Lauren and Joanne. What about representing this province? How does that feel to carry the flag, sort of, on this national show like you are?
Absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that I love The Amazing Race, and I've always been rooting for a team from Saskatchewan. That's all I've ever wanted. And knowing that that's us is insane. And for us to be able to showcase what Saskatchewanians are like, what this province is like, and it's not just a flyover, it's not where you have a layover and then you head to your destination. Like, it's really cool here, and we're getting that opportunity to show the nation that you need to come to the prairies, man. It's pretty cool.
How about you, Lauren?
I think that's exactly it. That Regina, you have people that will talk about, like, I have a layover in Regina or Saskatoon, or I'm visiting family for a day and then I'm continuing on to wherever. But the people that are here are so brilliant. And really, the people that are here are who've made us who we are. So, I mean, we're getting so much of a positive response from the show. You're so funny, you're so sweet, you're so nice. And that's because of people in Saskatchewan. That's who we learned it from.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not shocked that you guys would be picked for the show, given your energy, as I said, when you came in here. I could feel it.
Aww.
And a fun question before we go. Bob on the Facebook feed says... The team, and you don't have to answer this, but I got to ask it anyways. The team from Quebec is coming across as very arrogant and cutthroat. Is that true?
I think the thing that people forget with this race, because Canadians are so nice, is that it is a game. And what Dave and Irina are doing is they're playing the game and they're playing games. So we see, I see so many fans are so heated about them. They're doing exactly to the fans what they did to us on the race. So they're really, they're getting in people's heads. And that's what they want to do.
That's what Dave does for a living, and he's good at it.
Yeah.
There were so many times where we're on the race and we're like, Dave and Irina, and we're kind of complaining. And our camera crew looked at us and they're like, guys, focus on your own race. They're doing exactly what you're mad about. They're getting in your head. Focus on your own race. And we're like, oh no, they did it. They got in our brains. But they are so good at playing the game. You can't doubt that they are absolutely killing it. And all of us are complaining, but we just can't catch up to them.
I think one of the great lines that one of our camera crew had was he's like, do you think they're talking about you right now? And we stopped and we're like, nope, not at all.
Mind-blowing.
They're worried about their own stuff. So, and Joanne and I really did. That was a big thing for us. We're like, we're running our own race. Even using the one way was something we weren't certain about doing. But it for us, it was the alliances, the games, all that. We were worried about doing what we needed to do to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
What a lesson for life.
Run your own race,
Run
man.
your own race.
No matter how fast or slow you go, you'll get there.
Well, I will tell you what, my life is richer for having you two come in here today.
Oh.
So thank you, and we're pulling for you, watching every week, and thanks for repping us so well.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.